Yes, brothers and sisters, so we have finally made it to the second reaction video of today, guys, on this here YouTube platform. Welcome to this here Brbptv. Be real, be positive. The other one will be Mr. Link's reaction, guys. That link will be in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. And with that said, guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that as always, guys. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, of course, helping the algorithm to push this video further and further. And of course, with that said, guys, let us get into the vibrations for today right there. Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is a very interesting one right there. A bad system can indeed corrupt good manners. I remember there was something of that sort. They didn't say that day right there, but bad company corrupt good manners. I think that's what it is. But this one is pretty much the same thing. A bad system can destroy good people, brothers and sisters. How is that possible? How is that possible? When you're trying to make it through this life, you try your best to do the right things, and then the system is just weighing you down, causing you to say, hey, I need to support my family. Maybe I should do things the other way. A bad system, brothers and sisters, can indeed corrupt good people right there. Which brings me to this video that I saw right there. Actually, I had a friend send this to me, and this is a very interesting thing that I've mentioned some time back, and this is that lady right there. It's interesting. She's crying for her oppressor to come back. An individual actually made a statement under my WhatsApp stating this: Dominicans are suffering from Stockholm syndrome. Either that or they are more afraid of the opposition. It's interesting when it comes into this situation. A number of persons always saying, oh, the opposition is not strong, this and that, this and that. People don't seem to understand that when you're screwing up the system, when the leaders that are there are screwing up the system, it is not the opposition's fault. It doesn't matter what the opposition does. If the system that the leaders at present are doing are screwing up the right things or doing things the right way, what do you expect to happen? Another party is going to come and do something better? Come on, people. Wake up and smell the coffee. But of course, some of you guys might not know what Stockholm syndrome is. Stockholm syndrome is when you sooner or later start getting some sort of affection, or you start siding with the very person that is trying to do you harm. Let me see if I can get the definition for you guys right there in that regard. Stockholm syndrome, brothers and sisters, on Google. All right, I got it. Dictionary, brothers and sisters. Stockholm syndrome, feeling of trust or affection felt in many cases of of victims. The person is trying to do the victim harm. Somewhere, somehow, the individual is getting some sort of affection or this kind of things. And this is what we are clearly seeing in that regard right there. Being beaten down. Maybe she got a house or something of that sort, of while they have destroyed the economy. She's literally crying, crying for her own oppressor. Brothers and sisters, reminds me of Harriet Tubman. I could have freed hundreds. I could have freed thousands of slaves. I freed hundreds of slaves and could have freed thousands more if only they knew that they were slaves. But hey, everybody has the choice to choose, not true? I was actually having this argument with a friend of mine on the indication of those who are not thinking properly and those who are actually thinking properly. I remember back in the day that the voting system was made for one family. One family meant one vote. Not if you have 5 people in your house, you vote for 5. No. One family had one vote. This is how it was back in the day, on the basis of individuals who also were, somehow linked to being in the military forces and this kind of things there. That's how it was. You have the ability, but things have changed and time has changed. But then one of the things that what the humans have developed is the ability to prolong life. They are able to solve diseases and all this kind of something there that natural selection would have taken out. If you are born slow, brothers and sisters, natural selection will select you out of the equation, and only the strongest will be able to survive. Those who are able to think properly, brothers and sisters, will then advance forward. In the animal kingdom, that is how it is. We'll be able to advance forward. But humans have developed such a way where they are able to procure those who are slow in mind, brothers and sisters, who may have some other talent and skill set that they can use. So preserving them, yes, makes sense. But on the basis of natural selection, they would have been weeded out. out of the system. It's rather interesting, however, brothers and sisters, in this day and age, you have people who are very low in their brain, being controlled by outside forces that the people do not see. So you have people that don't think properly, that will just be yes men to whoever is controlling them in the background. I remember one of my individual friends was telling me he doesn't want to become the prime minister or nothing like that in the country. He wants to play the background. He wants to be the one pulling the strings. That's interesting. A lot of the rich people who are, have monies and these kind of things, they can do this to individuals at the top. They pay them to do certain things, to push certain agendas and these kind of things there. So when you think it's the people who actually, hey, this is the person I voted for and whatnot, no, brothers and sisters, sometimes the whole regime is corrupt. Especially when it comes down to the leaders that are present who are doing magic in the place, and you have people crying. All right, you get my point. Hopefully you got that. Hopefully I broke that down for you guys in accordance so you can be able to understand. Stockholm Syndrome, interesting stuff right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, Dominica on the Dominican property, I remember they actually had two different women. They had a nice slim thick one, and they had a meg one. Brothers and sisters, one that was anorexic. I remember they also had the shelves where they say on the DLP the shelves are empty. On the United Workers Party the shelves were filled, and things were happening. It's very evident in this society when it comes down to objective reality that is the case that is actually happening in today's world, brothers and sisters. This one is very clear to see. Dominica has one of the highest fuel prices right there, and they keep on putting things on people. I did the previous reaction of an individual who has to pay $500 on importing 3 cases of drinks, which total about 44 or 45 US dollars. She then has to pay customs $500 for these drinks, and you telling me that they care about the people? Really? Oh, I see. I also mentioned that Senkit's actually trying to do something for the people, even though they stated that their CBI has gone down as a result of what Dominica has caused. Yes, Dominica has caused that. CBI has dropped as a result of what Dominica has caused across the Caribbean. And who is the ringleader now? You don't know your leaders very well, brothers and sisters, but I do. Brothers and sisters, of course, talking about the same sentiment right there. This is on a DLP ticket kind of vibrations. I think these are DLP individuals. And this is what they had to say on the radio, brothers and sisters. They actually came before and mentioned that Brbptv seem to be hiding from their constituents. People voting for them to do things for them. But it's very evident. Who exactly are they doing things for? Are they doing things for the people, or are the people paying taxes to do things for them? Are they raising all sorts of funds overseas to do things for themselves, and they're making a little drag? Brothers and sisters, I remember the whole sentiment of how they had bailouts for the airports. It's not that the airports were not making money. It's just that they were sending 10% back of the profits back to the airport to run it, and 90% of it went to the shareholders. Doesn't that seem like what is happening in Dominica? 7,700 and something passports were sold at least $100,000 a piece. That's about $7 billion, brothers and sisters. And considering families and those kind of things there, whatnot, blah blah blah. Well, total about 10 billion, and they say even more based on when the OCCRP or whatever is the name, brothers and sisters, when they came out and they were doing their follows, they ended up on Dominica and found that more passports were most likely sold. There were a lot of things happening on the table. Remember Alison Maduke, remember Ali Reza Monfort, all these people who became our diplomats. They became our diplomats, brothers and sisters, and they were criminals in their own country. But then again, what do I know? Anyways, let's listen to what this individual had to say right there.
I'm just a guy on a radio show every Sunday.
But people come to us, bro.
And the kind of things that people tell me, sir, it hurts.
It hurts. It hurts when the people you elect to do things for you are not doing it. And not just not doing it, they're escaping from you. I remember when I went to do, some years ago, when I went to do an interview in Roseau, talking about the healthcare situation happened with Dr. Christian. His vehicle was rolling back and something happened to him, and we were talking about the healthcare system. And people were talking to me. We ended up on tourism, where the tourism minister at the time, they tell me every time the minister passed that area, he driving faster. Or if he's walking, he's walking fast so that people will not be able to catch up to him. People are running away from the very people that post them there in situations to do things for themselves. And when people talk, they tell you not to talk. But they're giving you a horse for you to shut your mouth. Not true. Okay.
And these people are genuine supporters
Die hard
of the party, it hurts.
So that's the problem I have, brothers and sisters. Whoever becomes the leader of the country should not be focused on my party, my whatever, the people that support me, my supporters. It should be on the whole country, not just some. I understand you might listen to your supporters and say, okay, what can we do, blah, blah, blah. But it should benefit the whole of the country. But when your supporters are crying to you, they're crying to you and calling radio, some of them even calling Matt now, yes. Them people calling Matt to make noise. Because apparently they calling those two and there's nothing happening from them. So they calling Matt. This is what Matt can do. They just call me too. I tell him put it in a video, his reactions I just do. You think I just can say things and then I'll come and say, put it on a video and I'll react to it. Are you afraid? And all you okay then?
It hurts. And if somebody from the hierarchy want to call me personally,
yeah,
and I will tell you, I wouldn't discuss some of the things on the radio.
No.
But I'm telling you,
We won't do that.
That some of your genuine supporters
are hurting.
They don't care about no supporters. Just look at Portsmouth. Look at Portsmouth, brothers and sisters. Portsmouth is the #1 Labour. Well, they say that's Portsmouth or Granby. I think it's Portsmouth. Portsmouth is the #1 supporter of Labour Party. Look at all of the constituencies. They literally make Ross go. They make Ross go, not just Dominica, not just Portsmouth, Ross for Dominica by extension. About 30 to 40% GDP. They just make it go. And we hear that the Prime Minister is one of the individuals who are in charge of the establishment, the apartment establishments. It's very interesting, brothers and sisters. So you think they care about the people? The #1 place. Look at Portsmouth now. I was going to say something, but I don't want to put a liquor blast on somebody, so I'll leave that there. Let's continue.
And you need to address that. So
they don't care about you. How on earth you telling people on the radio that they need to address that as if they don't know they need to address that? What do you think they put them in positions for? We'll get into some more information.
Medical needs. They have been trying to get assistance from.
Wait a while, I don't get that. I hear it, but I don't get it.
Need to address that.
Some have what?
Some have medical needs.
Medical needs. So they cannot afford. The HIFU and the HIFU in the hospital are working. The HIFU not working. They cannot get medical attention in Dominica. They need to be flown out. No. Okay. When I tell people Labourites think, remember when they was talking about electricity? Labourites say, oh yeah, we put chest Domlec, woo, and giving UWP blows for selling Domlec. I hear the Labourites say, best they sell it back. Best they give it back for free. Because the amount of money now man have to pay, and not just money man have to pay, Load shedding take place in this modern day. Load shedding in 2023 going into 2024. Dominica is suffering with load shedding, electric something as basic as electricity. Right now they're looking into quantum realms of things. If you're following AI, brothers and sisters, they're looking into AI, but Dominica is suffering with electrical shortages. And something that could be prevented. Okay.
They have been trying to get assistance for months.
For months. Okay.
Some for years.
For years? Oh, okay. The Labour not working now? No, AM to PM now? AM to PM, which time the boss? AM to PM, not the Gregorian calendar. It have to be probably Ethiopian calendar. They're still 10 years behind or 7 years behind. Maybe it's then they're talking about. Not in the Gregorian calendar at all.
Some have housing needs. They have been bounced around.
So they are housing needs, which means that they cannot make the house for themselves in an economy that's supposed to be elevating for the people, which will create independent people. Yet we just celebrated 45 years of independence. 45 years.
everywhere. Go to this person, go to that person, go to this person. No assistance.
You know why, brothers and sisters? Because the country doesn't have money. Dominica owes a lot of people, all sorts of, not a lot of people now, a lot of universities monies. I heard that they had to kick out the Dominicans. Up to now, I don't find out about it. No, I keep forgetting. Did they kick out the Dominicans? You remember when they were saying that, brothers and sisters? Remember? Oh, remember, Simba, remember.
Sir, a lot of people have been trying to see you.
Sir, so it's not one of the female representatives.
For months, some for years.
Yep.
They just can't see you. They,
Not that scared was saying, he's saying some of the ministers hiding. And he not taking none of that this time because it sounds nice. Something nice to tell the people. I'm not taking none of this. Sometimes all you, they vote for you to put all you in positions. And when the people come and look for you, all you not there, all you running and hide. But when it comes to flying, all you always present. Remember when the Prime Minister was saying that? And he say if that happens this time, they fire them. Well, you don't fire them, no? You know why you don't fire them? Because it was always showmanship. You know, nice. Come, give me babies for me to hug and kiss. Showmanship. This is why I was telling people about objective reality. Objective reality doesn't bend on our own biases, no. We decide we're supporting one person that keeping us down. Don't matter what you have in your brain. Say, oh, maybe I have the hope. Maybe, brothers and sisters, objective reality does not change on our biases. It will never change. Reality is a heck of a thing, you know. You either abide by reality or you just fall by the wayside. It's very clear what is happening to Dominica, but some of all you still in denial. That's fine. Denial still, man. Denial still.
they say there's a roadblock downstairs. I don't know which downstairs. There's a roadblock downstairs. Financial center.
So when they go financial center to try to get help from the ministers or whoever, or the prime minister, there's a roadblock. Okay. So you didn't expect that to happen? Huh? I mean, the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall. Now Dominica suffer with load shedding for electricity. Yeah. No, man. Maybe it's me. I travel a lot, brothers and sisters. So maybe this kind of things just, you know. But hey, I mean, that's what the people want, no? That's what they want. There's a rather interesting thing, and I think I mentioned that a while ago. Some sentiment of it. I didn't see the full thing, but this, you can pretty much read it right there. We can this group, or will this group rally with a new multi-mix new party to save Dominica? I think that is what the individual was talking about. They were saying, oh, maybe we should have a new party. A lot of people are saying, oh, we don't want the opposition. They don't feel the opposition. We're not even giving the opposition a chance to see if they can prove themselves. People want to say, oh, we need a new party. Okay? You see, that's all psychology that they're playing on human minds. And humans don't seem to understand what on earth is going on. Anyway, somebody did a counter and they stated something very important right there. Whoever wrote this is completely out of touch and sync with political realities. Need to change this cult of political gangsters of over 15 years, brothers and sisters. The problem is not UWP, it's not APP. You can put all party there, doesn't matter. If the present team is corrupt and using the corruption in the courts and just everywhere, brothers and sisters, if they're using it, doesn't matter what party comes in, the corruption will always take precedence, causing them to win again. This is why electoral reform is so vital. And it's rather interesting that when people were doing electoral reform, they say, oh, we don't need to clear voters list, we don't need to do this. But it only makes sense that what is there will be able to create a fair change. And if removing individuals from voters list and give them voter ID cards will then provide a fair chance for individuals who have true, free and fair elections. Individuals were talking against their own selves because of some narrative that whoever gave them to come and say, to make it seem as if that's what the people want. I mean, anyways, let's continue. The solution to end this most corrupt and evil regime is granting of political reform. Nothing else with a level playing field. That's what is needed. Scared would be history by 10 years ago. No man, he would have been history long time before, 15 years. He would not even come back. He would spend a year and that's it. Because you come and tell people, oh, you want to do nice things. Give the young man a chance. And we realize, how dangerous that is in today's day and age. Who do you think is in charge of Domlec? Or the IRC? We'll talk about that in a while, brothers and sisters. I hear the lady resign. All right then. With a level playing field, Scared would be history by 10 years. With no reform, not even Christ can lead a party to political victory. Well, you're stretching the joke, Jay, but I understand the sentiment that you're indicating right there. Christ can do everything. You understand me, brothers and sisters? But I understand the sentiment. Not with no reform, not even Christ, because they understand they want to push some sort of narrative and they're making people believe it. And they're telling people, oh, it's the opposition that is the problem. We need to put a new party. Put a new party there like a fool. It is the same outcome that will happen because it's not the party that is the problem. It's corruption that is the problem right there. Presently in 2023, most of Dominica is like a ghost town in the night. Yes. Not even in the night time. In the daytime, brothers and sisters. I saw the passive camera in Portsmouth, brothers and sisters. One person alone that was on the road around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. One person. And probably like 1 or 2 vehicles passed. A Wednesday, I believe it was. Midweek. And you think we're making progress in Dominica? Due to the bad management of the country, most areas are in total darkness for up to 8 hours duration. Well, electricity they're talking about right now. Heating and freezing is now a big concern after 20 years of labor. 7 billion of CBI monies in the hands of ruthless individuals, worthless and incompetent rascals right there. Doesn't matter which party you put there, brothers and sisters. If the corruption continues, that will always continue. The same leaders will come back. And when individuals say, oh, that's a boy, I don't want to come and vote. No boy, who else to put there now? Who else to put there? You know that the present one is corrupt. And thousands of you guys are saying the same thing. Oh, who else to put there? Well, vote for the other team now. You say, no man, I wouldn't vote. I'll let somebody else vote. Fool! If you all would come together, thousands of you guys would come together and actually decide, you know what? Let me come and vote. And let me do something. Let me see if I can, at least this time around, let me come. And thousands who are saying the same thing. Oh, I don't want to vote, man. Nothing, my vote doesn't matter. Thousands of individuals are saying that way across Dominica. Thousands. If they would actually come and vote, you don't think there will be a change? But of course, it's the same rhetoric. People keep saying over and over, oh, let's put the opposition not strong, all those kind of things. And we have one of the strongest opposition teams in the history of Dominica. A lot of the information we would not have known would have gone silent if it wasn't for Mr. Lennox Linton. If it wasn't for him, a lot of the information, brothers and sisters, we would not have known. When they were saying they're putting monies aside for international airport, they say they're putting money aside for international airport. When they do check how much money is in it, less than $200 was there. When they were putting millions of dollars per month. Okay then. They call it load shedding, this individual saying, make sure you have proper generators and a solar panel anytime you come in to stay here. We are by the Colombian times. You're like Venezuela? Well, not that bad. Venezuela, although Venezuela is elevating right now, brothers and sisters, from my understanding, because a lot of people are looking to get oil and stuff, and Venezuela have oil, and even the United States has looked into getting stuff from Venezuela. So obviously, Venezuela is on the up and up, even though sometime back they were making noise. But that's something else, that is truly something else right there. Somebody replied, this is sad. This is the whole thing that shocked me when it comes down to electricity. That shocked me like living color. Boy, they call it load shedding. Make sure you have proper generators and the solar panels anytime you come to stay here. Brothers and sisters, you know what was the highest commodity that sold out in Dominica? Fans. Man know the AC hot in the place. Fans was making ding dang, brothers and sisters. It's a very sad state of affairs. But you know who's enjoying it? congratulations to her on a marriage and what have you, brothers and sisters. But I always ask the question, because I've noticed that there have been a number of marriages that took place. Now, understanding how things are going, if you understand trends, you would have noticed that if it wasn't for them in positions, they would not be in that predicament. You realize that, right? So the question I must ask, and I could be wrong in that, but who exactly is paying for these weddings? Who exactly is paying for these housings that you're seeing going up? Who exactly is paying for all of these things? Is it them monies that is paying for it? Is it CBI? What exactly, or who exactly, where exactly is this money coming from? Ever ask yourself that question? Marriage is always a good thing, brothers and sisters, don't get me wrong. But the question must be asked. It could be them that doing their own thing. It could be something else or somebody else. Because it seems like Dominica seems to be catering to individuals who are not necessarily, you know, the citizens, the normal citizens themselves. That's why I did the previous reaction on the mistakes reaction, guys. Check that out. Check it out after this here video right there and then. Yes, man, catch feelings, man. Anyways, congratulations to her. But it's just that I noticed a trend. You know, a trend, a very interesting trend. Anyways, brothers and sisters, there's something else that I need to point out. I don't know if my name they call in, but this is what Domlec doing. This is what Domlec doing, Dominica boy. Or not Domlec. Because sometimes you always point out to the people that are in charge, to the people we see indirectly, but it's not them. This is what the government is doing, Dominica. And they're using Domlec, brothers and sisters, to do it. You know what load shedding is, brothers and sisters? Load shedding is when they're trying to preserve so they can use the electricity at some other time. Or they don't have the capacity to produce the type of electricity that is needed. So therefore they have to shut down electricity on Dominica. Wow. So that is what Domlec, you know, being handled by the government through IRC, regulators. And they can do it, you know. What you can do? Make noise? Make noise! They still can't turn off the light on you. Because you have the wrong set of people. You have incompetent people in positions. Take out our positions, brothers and sisters. Bow. You see this very interesting thing, situation right there. Dominica Electricity Service, this individual, submitted her resignation today, and from all reliable sources, this individual, aka just in case, may be taking over the management position. Since the government takeover of Domlec, the company has been in let me read that again. Since the government takeover of Domlec, not maybe, but since, let me move that up, since the government takeover of Domlec, the company has been in a downward spiral. In a previous release, we reported Domlec's revenues are now being used to cover government recurring expenditure, and so it is no surprise that the company is now unable to meet the consumer demands for electricity, and have had to resort to daily load shedding operations. The ongoing load shedding operations severely impact customers and the productive sector. Of course, the productive sector, you know what needs to run things in Dominica? They have to shut down things early and send the employees home. You know why? Because what is the point of staying there when you have electricity? You don't even have a generator to run things in the place. Boy, you don't even have a generator to run government buildings. You have to shut down the place. And employees have to go home. You still have to pay the employees their full salary. No. So employees getting, hey, kudos to employees, you know, a little relief for all you. But is that good for Dominica though? It's going to kill the system. That's what's going to happen. You know, everybody on a tricycle And some people not using it, not pedaling, they decide, you know what, bond that, put me down, let me go at my home, I'm check on you tomorrow, and you need tricycle to turn things. What's gonna happen? The other workers are gonna get tired, or more tired, since you're not pulling your weight, and as a result of that, the sectors is gonna crash. The sectors is gonna crash as a result of the very leaders themselves. You're watching Domlec. It's not Domlec. Domlec is regulated by IRC. IRC is under the government, brothers and sisters. The heads, they are the ones who call the shots and tell IRC what they need to do. They might, you know, give a little rapport back and forth with them. But if they say, no, we don't want this, IRC can say whatever they want. Nothing can happen. Let me read that again. I like to read that, brothers. Let me start from the top. Since the government takeover of Domlec, the company has been in a downward spiral. In a previous release, we reported that Domlec's revenue are now being used to cover government's recurring expenditure, and so it is no surprise that the company is now unable to meet consumer demands for electricity and have to resort to daily load shedding operations. The ongoing load shedding operations severely impact consumers and the productive sector, with the company in such a declining position and an ownership so autocratic, incompetent, corrupt, and haughty. Someone else is always going to be the scapegoat. And I think they were using her as the scapegoat right there. There was much speculation that Mrs. Mackenzie and her managerial role would have been that scapegoat right there, brothers and sisters. We have this stuff right there, you know. Yeah, man. We have it there. Someone else who have been a scapegoat. There was much blah 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 blah. Scapegoat, particularly after she was honest and forthcoming with the Dominican people on the company's inability to meet consumer demands. I must give her a thumbs up for that. You realize I pulled back from her, brothers and sisters, when she came and she told the people and said, this is what we need. We need capacitors and this kind of things there. And she stated that they were regulated by who? The IRC. Obviously, like I said before, IRC is regulated by who? The government. All right. So it's the government at the end of the day that is doing this to Dominica, not Domlec. You see what happened with them Chinese mashing up people piping in Concord or whatever? Okay. Government, not the Chinese. If the government was holding them accountable, they would not be doing what they're doing today. Mackenzie made it. Anyways, Mackenzie, the former CEO or whoever of that regard right there, for blah blah blah. Mackenzie may have done the best thing for herself and family, because nothing is worth the sacrifice of your long-term health. If in Dawasco, brothers and sisters, Dawasco was getting fed up with them Chinese. Dawasco workers, because they have to constantly come and fix the pipe that they break. Chinese breaking man pipe and no telling man and going about their business, passing back and forth and leaving the people in problems. So when I bring in these things out there, brothers and sisters, it's not for my benefit. What do I have to do with me? So I bringing it out there so you guys can know what is going on. You know what is going on, and then load shedding continues. Not true. You have to worry about your health, and I agree with her. She definitely retire. Certainly not a company controlled by a kind of vicious political scoundrels with an insatiable appetite for wealth and power. Dominic, and frankly, the people of Dominica could have been better off if nearly 500 million had not been wasted and laundered on a geothermal venture. Brothers and sisters, we didn't really need the geothermal, no? We could have looked into solar, we could have looked into turbines, we could have looked into a number of things there. And as a result of this, then generating funds, which is much easier to get than doing the geothermal. We want to go the hardest way possible, spending over $120 million. Boy, $500 million. You didn't miss it. I only 120 million behind time, man. $500 million had not been wasted and but sometimes, brothers and sisters, the only conclusion we have is that they washing the money. They have a set of monies over there, and they most likely have to be washing the money. I could be wrong, but most likely, brothers and sisters, that's the only thing that making sense. Why on earth look at the airport? We have the airport, brothers and sisters. Let me end that thing before. This thing is on mass in the cemetery. I took this from. This is from something else that I saw this right there. But if you look at the airport, brothers and sisters, how on earth you telling the people about you can make international airport that will cost $1.3 billion, then you're telling them you're going to extend the present airport? For what? Don't people want to come to Dominica? We lost daily flights. We lost daily flights from American Airlines. American Airlines is to come Dominica, you know. So what we extending the airport for? For who? Help me understand, you know, guys, because I want to know. I want to be wrong, brothers and sisters. One of the things I was happy to be is wrong. But it's been so rare since I've been wrong, man. Why they extending the airport for? Huh? I think it was when they started the daily flights, they stated that they want to increase the amount of times that they will be coming. That never happened. Instead, we lost daily flights to probably 3 times in a week or something like that. 3 times in a week. When there's Creole Festival, maybe they'll come in regularly, more probably for a week or 2 weeks or something like that. And then that's it. That is the season they're talking about, you know. When they meet me in the airport talking about those seasonal wouldn't be 6 months, but instead they send the plane that would have been coming to Dominica to create at least 2 flights per day or something like that in Dominica. They sent it to another country. So what they extending airport for? It's not like more flights want to come in. American Airlines was already coming to Dominica and it dropped out from the daily flights. So help me understand what is the basis of extending the airport. Doesn't sound like it's washing money. Oh, let's find projects so we can do things. So we can at least, you know, the airport, extending the airport might cost say $100 million to extend it. Okay, let's see if we can build it, extend it for $40 million. And then we'll pocket the $70 million. But what I know now, there was also another part of this thing right there. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica and UAE, I think there was some $50 million development in Dominica will support a 5 megawatt, 2.5 megawatt hour. So yes, 5 megawatts, brothers and sisters, 2.5 megawatt hour battery energy storage system that will aid the island's clean energy. The system is forecasted to stabilize the electrical grid and develop and deliver reserve power and frequency control to the extreme weather-prone nation. It will also give the people of Dominica secure access to clean renewable energy and pave the way to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goal. Let me see if we can go a bit lower. We understand the UAE is intended to deploy renewable energy project in 16 Caribbean islands. It's not like they go to say, oh, the Minister of Energy did this. No, they had to do, you know. The question is, brothers and sisters, where did money go? The PM owes it to us to explain this news released by his trusted international PR consultants, or he may just want to tell us whether or not his government received the purported US $50 million. When you have incompetence, what do you expect to happen? What are your thoughts, guys? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. Let me get my lunch. Little lunch already. So let me get eat my lunch. Oh man, people watching these things happening to them. I spoke to a lady earlier on and she said, I stated this to you guys already, you know, Dominica is in a calm right now. The reason why Dominica is a calm because they feel like they fed up of fighting, so they just accept whatever. Human cognition is like that, you know. Creatures of repetition, constant blows, constant. So instead of the people staying and fight and not giving up, we are resilient, we say, but apparently only for some things. So instead of we staying and fighting, brothers and sisters, being there when they call for protest and these kind of things, a few hundred showing up, it's supposed to at least have 50, not 50, like going too much, at least 10,000 people there, at least. But when a few hundred show up, you expect to have change. And then things happening to people, happening to them, you know, not be that safe. Wait though.
13. Call me personally.
Yeah.
And I will tell you. I wouldn't discuss some of the things on the radio.
No.
They have been trying to get assistance for months, some for years, some have housing needs.
Yes, sir. Myself. I mean, the people making that happen to them, I'm just here putting it out. The thing is, I'm very passionate. I was talking to one individual last night, and he was telling me how his transition and everything like that, and how he's doing well, and was in the military, and what have you, blah, 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 and doing his thing. And saying how he doesn't really have to work anymore, and You know, he's relaxed and he can come to Dominica, spend a few weeks or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Go back home and all these things and whatnot. And I've heard this story a number of times with Dominicans who overseas, not just in the United States, but in the Caribbean as well. Other places in the Caribbean. I have friends who in a number of Caribbean countries and they're doing fantastic. They were in Dominica struggling, but the overseas doing fantastic. Yet still your prime minister will come and tell you, oh, it's effective leadership and we are doing well. All this kind of something there. Remember when he's talking about $1 billion in the community, country? We are $1 billion country, while other Caribbean islands will $3, $4, $5 billion going and more. All right then. But you know, it's just nice to tell the people certain things, and I always like to see when other people do well. And I want to see Dominica do well, but you know, I'm telling people right now, see if you can get another passport, leave. I'm telling you, it's too late. Oh, let me not say anything, brothers and sisters. Anyways, boy Mr. Leaks, give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification. Even when Labourites meeting you and telling you they want to leave. Yeah. When Scared make his own children born overseas as prime minister of a country, what does that tell you about you? Then come in and tell the people, oh, I want to have more children, for at least 40,000 more people in Dominica. Okay, all right then. Anyways, guys, give this video a thumbs up if you understand it. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get more videos as they tend to come from. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Remember, guys, be real, be positive.